Revelation 3534. From the 2nd of September 1945. God's plan of salvation. Love and wisdom. Great is the love of God, and wise is his purpose. And everything he decides serves the redemption of the spiritual, which is wretched because it is far from God. In order to bring it closer to him, he directs all events according to his eternal plan of salvation, which is determined in profound wisdom and infinite love and will also lead to the goal one day. Salvation from greatest adversity is the basis of it, for God's love only wants blissful creatures with whom he is eternally united. This is the final goal and purpose of everything that happens in heaven and on earth. But where God's love and wisdom is active, fullest success must also be guaranteed, only it takes infinite times, because God's will alone does not bring about the redemption of the unfree spiritual, but God lets the spiritual's free will make the final decision in the embodiment as a human being, and this shortens or lengthens the period of redemption itself. God's love and wisdom only arranges all events in such a way that they stimulate the human being to use his will and suggest the right decision to him. And this has to be recognized, even in the greatest suffering that is going over the earth and depressing people. The love and wisdom of God must also be recognized in this, who wants to help people to make the right decision. And thus the coming time of the battle of faith and the imminent dissolution of earth also belong to God's eternal plan of salvation, who uses all means to enable the spiritual to reach the final goal. It is a hard time and yet inevitably necessary, for God's wisdom saw the unsuccessfulness of all means to win the spiritual in the last time, and his love again applies new means to bring help to the spiritual. God's plan of salvation underlies every work of creation and every event in the universe. Nothing exists and happens without meaning and purpose. The need and redemption of the spiritual being is always the cause and goal, and God's love is constantly intent on reducing the distance between himself and the spiritual being which has fallen away from him. The more resistance the spiritual opposes him, the more painful its fate, and as a human being it therefore likewise shapes its earthly fate itself, extremely painful if it does not bow to God and submits its will to him, or more bearable through the supply of grace and strength if it gives up its resistance and approaches him of its own free will. This is the meaning and purpose of the eternal plan of salvation, which has to be recognized, and the realization of which also already signifies the beginning of redemption, for now the spiritual being steps out of the darkness enveloping it into the light. It recognizes God's love and wisdom, it knows the meaning and purpose of earthly life, the meaning and purpose of creation, the blessing of suffering, which testifies to God's love, and it now strives fully consciously upwards. Nor will it fail in the final battle of faith once it has gained this knowledge, and after a difficult but short time it will enter the kingdom of light or paradise on the new earth fully matured in order to live eternally in the proximity of God from whom it once originated. Amen.